What's good, 99 Dream family? We back at it, episode 28 of the 99 Dream Journey. My name is Julian Taliaferro. You already know we coming again with another weekly business update, lessons for the week, and topic for the day, which is show up. And the reason for this title is because of me having that pitch event last Tuesday, and that kind of sets the theme for show up. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the topic portion of this episode. But to begin, I want to go in with a quote for this week, which is speed is meaningless without continuity. And this is a quote from Taiichi Ono. He was actually the creator of the Toyota production system, things like just in time, a Kanban, or autonomous with the human touch. And what's interesting is that I was reading his book that dives into the Toyota production system, and that's where I found the quote. And it's in context of like a manufacturing line. So say you have different processes to build out this car, right? You need a die press, maybe you need another process that'll put the door panels, on the car. Maybe you need a process for the chassis. So you have these different processes. You can't have all of them moving at 100% speed with no sort of connection. There needs to be some sort of a streamline between all these processes. There needs to be a flow, right, that will allow for an increase of efficiency in the manufacturing plant. So that's kind of what led to him saying that speed is meaningless without continuity, because it doesn't add to anything if there's no flow. And I think that it was a great quote, but it can also be applied to areas outside of just manufacturing and like a plant. And I think it can be applied to even like development of yourself, knowing that you have to be continuous throughout this process. Also apply to relationships, to where like you can move fast, but like you also need to have some sort of continuity over time for like the best relationship, whatever that relationship may be. And then even in like school and like work. So I think it was a great quote. So that's why I wanted to highlight it. And it's speed is meaningless without continuity, from Taiichi Ono. And now I can get in with my business update. So on the Amazon front, I ended up receiving my product photos from my photographer. So I'm glad that I could finally get everything straightened out on that side. Also, my retail arbitrage product, the one that I sent to Amazon for me to understand the back end, it actually ended up getting lost somehow. So I don't know how that happened, but I was on the phone with a associate of Amazon earlier today, and he was saying how this happens a lot, just because of the large volume of packages that Amazon receives. So now it's just about me figuring out how I can get a reimbursement, or maybe try to track down that product. And then thirdly, I did end up submitting for brand verification again with my new product packaging that I had, and I ended up getting rejected for the second time. So per Amazon, their words were that they did not see sufficient proof that the branding on the product or packaging distinguishes the product from other similar products that are not branded. That's what they said to me. So it's a different reason from last time. I guess it means that like if I were to put a different product into my package, then they wouldn't know the difference. So there is a plan C that I have, but it was more so like a last resort, and that's where I would put my product on under brand name generic. But I feel like I might have some steps to do before that. As I was said, I was on the phone earlier today with an associate. It's actually somebody who Amazon has assigned to my account after I sent in my first product, my retail arbitrage product through FBA. They ended up assigning me this associate for him to, help me improve my sales, or just to become a better seller. So, I'm going to be asking him for a little bit more clarification on the determination on why I did not receive a verification for my brand, and then from there just try to see what else I can do. And then if not, I'll just move forward with plan C and list my product under brand name generic. So that's what I'm looking at in my business update. And now I only have one lesson for the week, and it's just that you can only take it day by day. So it's just a reminder that I need personally. You can like plan stuff all you want, you can have a strategy, but time is going to reveal, what it reveals, and you can only take it day by day and just live in the moment and just be present. So, just take it day by day, do what you can in that 24 hours that you have. And then the next 24 hours, try to be a little bit better and be a little bit better. So that's my one lesson for the week. So with now those two sections out the way, I can talk about my topic, which is show up. So, for me, like I think that you have to show up in order to have an opportunity to show out. So the biggest thing for me in the season that I'm in is just that I showed up, right? I showed up for the pitch. I'm showing up for, anything in entrepreneurship. I'm just showing up consistently, right? And I'm not sure this analogy works, but I think it's kind of like you have to prove to yourself sometimes that you'll jump off the cliff into the ocean and then you'll see if you can swim, but you have to prove to yourself that you'll jump. You have to prove to yourself that, you'll take risks and you'll get in there. So that's something that like nobody can take away from you. If you show up every day in your life, then I feel like you always will be in the position to have the opportunity to execute. And whether it's showing up to do work, whether it's showing up for yourself, showing up for a person, somebody else, or showing up for an event, nobody can take that away from you. And it's like something that you prove to yourself. And then once you kind of get to that point where you are consistently showing up, to whatever it is in your life, then you can think about showing out. And then you'll show up and show out. But it's an opportunity. And it's kind of like you have to be in the moment in order to know how to show out. So it's like I can think that, this first pitch that I did, that I was going to show out, and although I think I did okay, I didn't win. So, I could have did better, right? So that just means that I need to be in more and more situations like this. So for me, like I just ended up signing up for another pitch event that I'll need to get approved for. So if I get accepted into this next event, then I'll be able to have the opportunity to once again show up, and then hopefully I'll be a little bit better and show out and possibly win that competition. So for like an example, like the dude who actually won the pitch event that I was in last week, I saw him present on Thursday in like a real Miami pitch event, the real deal. And I didn't know he went to UM, but I saw him pitch and it was like a great pitch, right? So for me, that's like rationalizing in my head that, okay, he showed up numerous times before this occasion. I'm not sure how many times he pitched, but I know it's definitely like maybe in the 20, 30s, maybe even more that he's pitched. And he's gotten to a point where he's refined his pitch, where he's been able to have progress to where every time he shows up and pitches his startup, he shows out. So that's just something that, I'm looking at and say, okay, I'll do that same thing, right? I'll show up for anything that I need to. And then from there, I'll ball out when I get on the stage. So, when it comes to the pitch event that I did do, like I said, I think I did well, but I did see some holes that I can kind of patch up in terms of like my offering and things of that nature. But it was a good learning opportunity just to know what it feels like to stand on that stage and talk about one of my ideas. So that's the topic, show up, and then you'll have the opportunity to show out. And next steps for me are to see how I can list my product under brand name generic, and then probably just be in communication with the associate who was assigned to my account. Also, I need to look and see and how I can be reimbursed for this retail arbitrage product that was lost, and then also just in general, like I will be continually working on my startup ideas, and hopefully grow that area. So that's my next steps. And all right, let's get it, y'all. Going to achieve your 99 dream. And it's 99 dream because you are going to achieve your dream. And it would be 100%, but nothing is perfect. So you can achieve 99% of that. And let's go and let's get it.